Hello, everybody. I'm Kim Daniels, co host of The Parker Daniels Show. Giving a shout out to my co host Anthony Parker, who's on the sidelines today, taking care of some other business for the show. Today, we have with us a young lady who lives in Ohio, I believe. Is that correct? Ohio?
Yes, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay, Cincinnati, Ohio. She actually, I think she used to live down here in Louisiana where we currently are and has relocated to Cincinnati, Ohio. So, everybody, please tune in and listen to Miss Lisa. How you doing today, Miss Lisa?
I'm doing great. I've been moving across the country wherever jobs are, so I love to tell my story.
Okay, well, that works. That's for sure. Miss Lisa, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure.
Where you were born or where you were raised at and stuff like that?
Sure. I was born in Shreveport, Louisiana, northwest corner of the state. I weighed 2 pounds, lost to 1 pound, 13 ounces. Doctors kind of predicted that I was going to have a 10% chance of living.
Uh-huh.
I proved them wrong. The oxygen what caused the blindness because I was premature.
Right.
And when my mother asked the doctor how should I be raised, the doctor said you raised a child just like any other. Nothing different.
Okay.
My mom had a positive attitude to where you can do anything you want except drive a car. That was the way she approached it.
Okay. So you were blind from birth then, or?
Yes.
Okay.
I had what they call ROP, retinopathy of prematurity.
Okay.
And of course, the old medical term I was told was retrolental fibroplasia.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So what kind of programs? Oh, let's talk about your schooling. Where did you go to school?
I went to Louisiana School for the Blind back in late 1968, all the way through May of 83. And while I was at the school, I think somewhere around either 78, 79, or 77, 78, I forget which year,
Okay.
when the school changed names, when they combined the School for the Blind on Southern University campus onto Government Street.
Okay.
My mom wasn't sure at the time whether to keep me there or what, but I chose to stay there because I liked the school.
Okay. So you learned a lot through that program. I'm assuming you learned mobility and how to read Braille.
Oh yeah, I learned Braille at an early age. I didn't learn mobility until I think about 8th grade. I wished I would have gave me the cane a lot earlier, but that didn't happen.
Okay.
So I walked around the campus with no cane and stuff for several years, which I think it would have been better to introduce it early, but they didn't do that. But now, as I understand it, they are introducing it earlier. I was able to see some of that when I went to my first National Federation of Blind Convention in 1985.
Okay.
And that was 2 years after I graduated from high school.
Okay. Well, as you went to the blind school for the blind and everything, what kind of job training did they give you while you were in school?
Well, basically, I had experience in working in the library, school library. We have a collection of Braille books and audio books and stuff. So I used to work with Warren Freiretta, who used to be alive. Of course, we lost him in 2010. And he was my mentor in working there. And I had one of my classmates, Yvette Fuso, who was in my class, and she also helped out in the library.
Okay, so
that was my first experience, and getting paid during the summer.
Okay. So is that what you currently are doing now in Ohio?
Right now I'm working as a Braille proofreader. and I love my job. I proofread books and magazines as well as textbooks now.
Wow.
That is my additional responsibility. One of the things I'm also doing, under disclosure of Kluvenix right now, I'm doing a beta test for them on the advanced UEV Braille technical course.
Uh-huh.
So I'm working on that. So it's not available open to everybody yet. So I'm still doing testing. I'm just now getting started.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's one thing I do not know how to do yet. Having lost my sight in the past 5 or 6 years and stuff, I have not learned how to read Braille. Now, are you coming across though, with the Braille and everything? Is it really fundamental to learn for somebody who has recently gone blind to learn Braille? I mean, with today's technology, I mean, everything is almost voice override or
Right.
So, I mean, do you...
Well, here's what I see, and this is my feeling about it in my own comment.
Uh-huh.
Braille does not replace print. Audio is a supplement, okay?
No.
It's not going to help you spell words. It's not going to help you know where punctuations are in a particular text. If you're really serious and want to know where your punctuations are, it's not going to help you in audio.
Okay.
No narrator is going to say, "Cat, this is my cat," period. They're not going to say that.
Right.
And I say that every day in my work because we have to say it. We have to make sure that it matches the print.
Right. Okay.
So that's part of my responsibility. And I help people transition from the English Braille American Edition, which is the old code that we've known since 1959.
Uh-huh.
Before 1959, we had grade 1.5, where some of the words were spelled out and some of it was contracted a little bit differently.
Okay.
Reading Braille, it's not that difficult. It's just only 9 contractions that were removed from the old code.
Uh-huh.
That's not that hard. The way that the rules are implemented, it's a little easier to remember.
Okay, so when a person is, like I said, I do not know how to read Braille and stuff. So when a person is reading Braille, so I am to understand that let's just say you're trying to read the cat ran, okay? So that means the word "the" would be spelled out THE, or is there a certain symbol for the word?
The way it works is that you have the .6 for the capital sign. Then you had the dots 2, 3, 4, 6, which would be the THE sign.
Uh-huh.
And then there would be a space, and then cat, that would be uncontracted, so that would be spelled out.
Okay.
And then ran, R-A-N, and then if you want to end the period there, that hasn't changed.
Okay.
What has changed in the Braille code is the little squiggly words, and for, of the, with a, and for a, those now have to be spaced out, so it's no longer written together.
Uh-huh. Okay. Wow.
That's one of the rules that's been written.
Okay. I don't know. Like I said, I've been hesitant on learning Braille. I know I probably do need to learn it myself one day and everything, and I probably will take a class, go somewhere and take a class for it, to have somebody teach me how to do it and everything. But that's
you can do this in a couple of ways. One is go to a rehabilitation center, such as the Louisiana Center for the Blind in Ruston, Louisiana. It takes 6 to 9 months out of your life to go up there and get good rehab training. It was one of the best training in the world, I think, because it will help you stretch beyond your capabilities.
Okay.
That would be one thing I would consider. Being an NFB member for over 30 years. And we have people, I want to say, across the United States that are ambassadors. I'm a former student at Louisiana Center for the Blind. my first rehab program I went through was Arkansas Enterprises for the Blind, which has been changed names over the years. I think it's called Lions Services or World Services or something like that.
Okay. Okay.
And they are providing a lot more vocational training than what it was when I was there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, can you tell me what have been some of the obstacles that you have came across in your lifetime being a blind person and everything, whether it be in the public or personal? What kind of obstacles have you overcame?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the biggest, it's not so much adjusting to blindness. What it is, a lot of people have is the attitude and misconceptions about blindness.
Mm-hmm.
So I constantly have to educate people every day.
Okay.
People that are coming through Juvenile Center for the Blind where I work. And we educate the public, and especially those who are blind that probably haven't got the concepts down, But I have a positive attitude about blindness. I'm one of these can-do kind of person.
Right, right.
One of the challenges that we may encounter is access to information.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's in games, whether it's in travel, whether it's just trying to gain access to print, whether you're using a sighted reader, or in my case, I use IRA, where I can be able to call up an IRA agent and they can help identify items for me.
Uh-huh.
They can pull up a map of a place that I had to be, and they can direct me. In fact, I was using it last night, getting from. I was in the bus station. I wanted to get out to the door so I can call my Uber ride.
Uh-huh.
And I call up an IRA agent. She was able to help me. Now, certain areas, it was a little blurry, but, she was able to direct me as best I could, and found it,
Right,
It worked.
Well, that's great. That's great. Wanted to also know, okay, you've been blind for the majority of your life and everything. So, what activities or achievements have you done in your lifetime that some people would say a blind person couldn't do?
Well, I'll tell you, I worked in several different jobs. I worked at, I'm going backwards here, starting with my first job after graduating from high school and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Other than School for the Blind, because I put that down on one of my resumes. School for the Blind, I did that, as a student, working in the library.
Right.
With Warren Figueredo. That was one of the first. That was one of the first jobs I got paid. Just a small amount, but not much.
Right.
But it did help. Back then, because minimum wage back then, I think it was something like $3.35 an hour, or something like that.
Well,
long time ago.
Back when I started, it was 2 something. But yeah, go ahead.
So the next job that I did, and I only did this for 2 months, and that was working at LSU Medical Center in Shreveport, Louisiana, as a telephone operator. Okay. I wanted to get my foot in the door to show that I can do it. I had my brother worked with me. He lived in Shreveport. He worked with me, walking with me, let's say, from getting off the bus, getting into the hospital. He worked with me a couple of times.
Uh-huh.
I didn't use a O&M instructor to help with that, so I had my brother who would try to help me. And then, I kind of learned it from there.
Uh-huh.
Now, the supervisor there didn't want to hire a blind person.
Right.
I wanted to give her a chance. My counselor set this up. So I did this for 2 months, and then after 2 months, my counselor came to my house and said, "Don't go in. You've been let go." And I cried for 2 nights. In fact,
did they say why you were let go?
Well, what I was told is that the person that was supervisor there didn't want a blind person there. And they had the employee there in my department that wrote bad reports about me.
Oh, wow.
I didn't like what they wrote, but I said, okay. My mom wrote a letter to Governor Edward Edwards because I wanted to make sure that the records are straight.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I were to go back to the state again to do anything, I want to make sure that my record's going to be okay.
Right.
And that it wasn't going to be an obstacle in the future.
Right.
And so before Louisiana Center for the Blind was born, I went to one of these fundraiser events, and I went there, and I got a chance to see Governor Edward Edwards, and everything, and I wanted to make sure I set the record straight. So, anyway, after all of that, then I got a call. I think it was near the first part of May of 1986, I think it was. And my counselor called me up and said, "Well, we found something at Louisiana Association for the Blind, and they were looking for a receptionist."
Okay.
And I said, "Well, if there's nothing else out there, I might as well go ahead and take it."
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't know what the pay was going to be, but anyway, I decided to go ahead and try it. So they had this 1-year employment program. So I went, and of course they realized I have a lot more potential than just a receptionist. I had used my VersaBraille, which is a note taker in Braille. So I was able to not only write messages using an ink matrix printer back then, and of course they didn't use, they had some computers, but they didn't have any screen reader or anything on it.
Right.
So I used my note taker to help write grants and stuff like that, whatever else that needed to be written. And I would get with the director of Human Services, and we would sit there for hours just writing stuff up. And I would write it, and then after a while, I would print the paper on that matrix printer, and we'd go back and review it and make more changes, and I'll print them out again, Okay. So that's kind of how I did it. Now, I was doing more than just answering the phone. I was helping out in the department back there, either handling change whenever somebody needs change for the vending machine. I was also helping out with, you got some people that have developmental disability who otherwise may not be able to count fast enough or put labels on boxes and stuff like that.
Right.
So I was able to do a lot of the direct labor stuff, to kind of help speed things up. And so I was able to do some of the contract stuff, whatever they need done. I've done it.
That's great.
So I worked there for 8 years for Louisiana Association for the Blind, which is part of the National Industries for the Blind.
Mm-hmm.
And after 8 years, I decided since Louisiana Association for the Blind was cutting back on hours, and I couldn't see how I was going to continue to live, survive. And so I, for the first time, submitted my resignation after typing up a letter and gave it to them, and I said, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to resign at the end of April. I'm considering going to Louisiana Center for the Blind to brush up on my independent living skills before considering getting a place on my own, because I was still living with my mom. I lived with my mom for about, I want to say, 32 years.
Okay.
And I decided it's time to start living a life on my own.
Yeah, definitely. So you are currently living by yourself now in Ohio, correct?
Yes, I live by myself in Ohio, and I also live by myself in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
I lived in San Antonio, Texas for 11 years, where I worked at Crest Communication, which used to be U.S. long distance. I did that for 5 years. And then I worked and that was a telephone operator. And then I worked for Sears as a customer service representative, where I would take calls from a customer that would call to schedule a technician to come out to the home, work on their appliances and whatever.
Right.
I ain't going to let my phone go to voicemail because I'm not going to pick it up on my home phone. So
Okay.
just ignore that.
Okay.
I'll get to that in a little while.
Okay. Okay. Well, it looks like you have done quite a few different things, having been blind and all that. So your opportunities, your doors have really been opened, job-wise and everything.
Yes. I tried to leave very little openings between jobs. In fact, I had a little gap when I lost the job at Quest.
Mm-hmm.
There were times that I couldn't get the time off when I wanted to go to the national convention.
Right.
But I went anyway, and on the days that I didn't get off, I would call in and say, I can't make it, I'm out of town.
Yeah.
And so I knew that was going to go against me somehow, and I started doing job hunting.
Right.
At the national convention when we had our job fair.
Okay.
Back in 2000. So I started looking anyway because I knew that working for a large corporation like that wasn't going to give me what I want in terms of time when I want to go, because they go based on seniority.
Right.
Okay, so anyway, when I was let go in August of 2000, I had already had something lined up for Freedom Scientific called me and they said, we want to fly you to St. Petersburg, Florida. We want to interview you. We want to house you in a hotel. And fly you down. I said, oh, cool.
Okay.
So I didn't have to pay anything. They did the arrangement of transportation. I think I just had to get myself to the airport. And I flew out, and everything, and stayed in the hotel, and they would transport me from the hotel to the headquarters.
Okay.
And so I had a chance to see firsthand how they do their stuff.
Right. Okay, so you worked through the National Federation of the Blind to get your current jobs and everything. Did you find that organization was able to help more blind people find jobs? Or you just got lucky on that?
I'll tell you how this works. Basically, it's who you know.
Right.
People within the National Federation of the Blind, the contacts that I made through that organization, that was kind of how I managed to find jobs in San Antonio. I had a friend of mine, Mary Donahue. She encouraged me to apply for Quest Communication, and I did that. When I went looking for a job again, I had Sam Jackson, who was working for Sears, doing the thing that I was going to do, and he kind of had some pull, so I managed to get in the door with his help.
Okay.
So that's why the help's there, is who you know that can really pull the strings there. Right. Because when you try to come in cold into an employer, a lot of employers are reluctant in hiring the blind. They don't have all the information. They don't know all the answers.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's very enlightening to see that your job opportunities were right there and everything. I'm assuming also the opportunity for these jobs is also that your mobility, that you were able to move around. Okay. Sorry about that. But back to the question though, do you feel that because of the fact that you are a single young lady that you were given more opportunities because you were able to travel more? Is that why you were able to get, some of these jobs and everything, or do you think?
Yeah, well, here's one thing to point that I want to point out. About 80% of your jobs are not going to be advertised. That's one thing. Now, for the way I got the Braille proofreading job, I was looking online on the internet, just like anybody else would. And when I found the Braille proofreader position, I thought, okay. So I told my family, I said, look, I'm going to have to move to another state. I can't stay within the state that I am.
Right.
And that's when I was living in Texas. Even Louisiana didn't have much of anything.
No, they don't.
So my dream was to work for a printing house.
Uh-huh.
And I got that dream. That was one of my dreams.
Okay.
And now I think this has shown proof of that. The other thing that has happened this year at Clovernook, I was nominated. My name was submitted as nominating for Blind Employee of the Year.
Oh wow, that's great.
For Clovernook Center for the Blind. So I went to National Industries for the Blind and got to meet up with 100 other blind folks who are working through other NIV agencies in competition for the National Employee of the Year, but I didn't get that.
Oh.
But I was there to witness other people.
Well, that's great that you were at least nominated, that you were recognized, as a good employee and everything. That's really
now
cool.
what also helped in recognition is my involvement with National Federation of the Blind, serving as vice president of the NFB in our local chapter. I also have been president of National Association of Blind Office Professionals, which is a national division of the NFB, and I've been doing that for 22 years, going on 23.
Okay.
So I've been doing it for a long time.
Now, does each state have that, the NFB?
NFB is found in 52 states. I mean, 50 states in the district and the District of Columbia in Puerto Rico. And so every state have a state affiliate. Okay. And it's easy to get involved in the National Federation of the Blind.
Okay.
We're the largest organization of blind people in the world.
So
50,000 members strong.
Do you think by a person enrolling or joining the NFB, would that give them a better opportunity of maybe finding a job? For those who are out there who cannot find a job?
I think so. And what the main thing is networking. That's the biggest thing. It's networking. Going to a national convention every year. That's how you're going to meet people. Okay. You may meet people in your local area. Okay. Join a local chapter. That's the best way to do it. You're going to get re-energized every month. I'm looking forward to going back to my chapter meeting in October. I missed this one in September because I went to a business meeting.
Okay. Well, that's great. Miss Lisa, I appreciate this. Can you give us one more thing? What advice can you give to an individual who is struggling with their blind disability, whether it's full disability or whether it's just a partial impairment?
My advice is don't give up. Keep trying. Stretch out beyond what you think you're capable of doing. You gotta learn how to do it. If you don't do it, you don't know until you try.
That's true.
Even if it's building your own business, you gotta be able to stretch out and try it.
That's great. All right. Okay. Well, you heard it from Miss Lisa. Definitely those who are out there, y'all need to check this out. Look into this National Federation of the Blind programs. She stated that they do have one in every state and everything, and I also believe it's also located in every city as well. So those of who are out there just beginning to become blind or visually impaired, looking into some of these chapters for the blind and everything. I think you can also look through your governmental pages and find links or phone numbers to help you for rehabs and stuff like that to those who are just getting started and everything.
One of the best things you can do is call the National Federation of the Blind in Baltimore, Maryland, which is our national headquarters, and they can phone you to a state affiliate in the area. Okay. They can help with that.
And say that again. What is it called, and where is it located?
National Federation of the Blind is located in Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay.
Their phone number is 410-659-9314.
Okay. Say that number one more time.
410-659-9314.
Okay.
If you don't know where to go in your state that can help you, find a state rehab agency to get training. That's the number one thing that I highly recommend, that people get good blindness training.
Okay.
Not just what they need, but they need to get the whole thing.
Right. Definitely.
But you don't have to go through the system again.
Okay. Well, Miss Lisa, thank you for your time. And thank you for your story. It has been very enlightening to me and hopefully to some viewers as well. Again, my name is Kim Daniels, co-host of the Parker Daniels Show. If you're viewing us for the first time, hit that subscribe button and you'll get notifications of every time we post on YouTube. You can also check us out on Facebook, and you can email us at parkerdaniels2018@yahoo.com. If you want to be on our show, please send us your bio to that email address with a contact number. We've been getting a lot of people who are sending us bios, but I don't have a contact number and everything. It helps if I get a contact number to call you back personally. If you'd rather do it by email, just specify that. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but eventually we do have to talk on the phone, so I do need a contact number eventually. Everything is confidential for anybody who is hesitant on giving out phone numbers, because I'm the same way. But send us comments. You can also comment on YouTube on any of our videos that we have posted. So, like again, my name is Kim Daniels. A shout out to my best co-host, Anthony Parker. And we will talk to you soon. Thank you very much. Okay, Miss Lisa.